All right, welcome back, Wagoneers. We're going to do another exciting segment of In No Particular Order. We're going to do our top 5 in no particular orders of the most hated sports teams, our most hated sports teams at least. And since I have a very long list, I'm going to go ahead and jump right in. I'm going to start with I have 5 honorable mentions, and I'm going to go through these honorable mentions relatively quick. Since I'm a very, very avid UNO baseball fan, and Mitchell Sanford is probably the baddest dude on the planet. If he doesn't win the Southland Hitter of the Year, I might fucking burn something down.
Y'all have meetings for like all 12 of you.
It's the baddest dude on the planet, Sean.
Sean's got himself a couple of UNO polos. So he's
I know. I enjoy UNO baseball games. I'm just ragging.
So I'm going to go one of their division rivals, and that's Nicholls State Colonels, just because their fans are pretty much nozzles from just having to sit with them when we're at the lakefront at the Maze.
At the Maze?
Their fans are pretty, they're pretty much, dick
rednecks.
cheese, I don't know. We went there last year for I think it was the game 3 of their series, and their fans were just obnoxious pricks. So, fuck off. And basically, if you go to Thibodeau, all there is Nichols and Rouses. Ain't much out there. Have fun out there.
It's a really nice Rouses, though.
Nichols and Rouses.
Next honorable mention, we're going to do with the Alabama Crimson Tides or Roll Tide. Nick Saban. I'm not a fan. I know the dude's a great college coach. Not a fan of him. He said he wasn't going to leave Miami for Alabama, but I guess everybody's got that price. Dude's a great coach though, but I don't really like him. We go with the Los Angeles Lakers next, and it's mainly just the current Los Angeles Lakers.
So same about errors.
I don't. Y'all know my feelings on LeBron. I don't like Anthony Davis. Just don't need to see them winning. So, the current Los Angeles Lakers, give them an honorable mention. This should come to no surprise to anybody either. The LSU Bengal Tigers, Bayou Bengals. And again, everyone always asks me why I don't like LSU. I'm from Louisiana. I should love them. It's because I've been immersed in their bullshit since I've been in college. I used to be an LSU fan as a kid. I love Gorilla Ball, man. I love those days when watching LSU's baseball team under Skip Bertman with the likes of Brad Hoff and Brad Cressy and Ben McDonald. Hey. Shut up.
Hey.
But dude, going to college, I didn't start really hating LSU until I was at UNO. And then you'd go to the UNO games, and then their fans would just be total fucking asswipes.
Probably because they
just
won.
Completely obnoxious. No, dude, UNO took them to fucking 15 innings at the Wally Pontiff Classic.
Once.
That's a fucking Sunbelt. They beat them last year.
All right. Didn't they win the title last year?
Yeah, the UNO beat them. That's
It's all right. We'll fight it out later.
They were having a bad day.
Were they playing their freshman pitching? Skeens wasn't pitching. They had their
D lineup.
What was a midweek game, so Skeens would be pitching. Anyways,
it's okay to hate LSU.
Last honorable mention, it's going to be one of my teams, and that's the Vegas Golden Knights. It's the only hockey team I have on here, and my reason for that is when they first came into the picture, a lot of people jumped on the bandwagon, but then they played the Sharks in the playoffs, and that asshole Cody Eakin took out my captain. But then the Sharks ended up coming back and scoring like 4 goals in 5 minutes, so it ended up working out for them. But Golden Knights, fuck you.
Is it really one of my teams? Because I haven't watched hockey yet.
We did a whole episode devoted.
I haven't watched hockey since episode 7.
They're yours now, brother.
That is true. We did a whole episode devoted to it.
Look,
I unveiled this pick.
I tried. I couldn't get into it.
Being that LSU's an honorable mention, I'm intrigued to find out what the other.
Probably my same top
more
5
hate than me.
I know one of them.
All right, number 5, I'm starting with the New England Patriots. I have no problem with them now, but with the whole Belichick era where they're winning all these Super Bowls, it's just easy to hate a team that just wins so much. Then you had Deflategate.
You had that most annoying guy ever who Mike wants to suck his balls.
And Tom Brady.
Well,
I mean, he is the GOAT, right?
he is.
Look, and I like the Patriots when they had Drew Bledsoe, man. You're a big Drew Bledsoe fan, but when they started winning all those Super Bowls, it's just you got tired of watching them win. It's just they became one of my least favorite teams.
All those white receivers.
Wes Walker. I love me some Walker.
Towel.
I was about to say, what West
I do. I love Wes Walker.
and Julian.
I fucked Edelman, no lie.
You did?
People listening.
Okay.
Before I'm gonna go to Houston Astros. Like I said, I mean, they've as of lately again
Cheaters.
no problem with them as a kid. The '90s team was great with Bagwell, Biggio, Bell, Berkman. I love all those guys.
The best era.
Now
In
it's
the
just
Astrodome.
everybody within the vicinity of here to Houston acts like they're Astro fans because it's the closest team, so I'm a diehard Astros fan. But no, you're really not. Well, they won. I'm an Astros fan, so I got my hat and everything.
I've been a fan of them since they had John Bagwell.
I've been a
Right.
fan since the Nolan Ryan days.
And they used to be with the Zephyrs.
True, yeah, they were.
So, yeah,
affiliate.
With all the banging on the trash cans and the banging on the trash cans.
Is that a Doug Funny reference?
Yes,
it
it
is.
Oh my god.
Drumming on the street.
So with all the
Playing
cheap,
on my band.
One
little voice is calling me, call.
What's worse than the Mickey?
Yeah, I mean, I think that Astros have too many local bandwagon fans. They've been cheating lately. I don't like to see that.
One of their pitchers actually just got busted for cheating with sticky shit on his glove a couple weeks
He's
ago.
putting behind
Couple
sticks.
days ago.
Pine tar. Stick 'em.
So yeah, they just don't learn.
Number 3, New York Yankees.
Number 3.
Number 3 is the New York Yankees. And really, number 2 and 3 can kind of be interchangeable, but Yankees is number 3. I can't tolerate teams that can just buy their talent. I feel like when kids get drafted by the Yankees, they're probably like, oh, fuck, I'm never going to play, because they're probably not, because they just go out and buy the biggest free agent on the market. So they're always in the top competition because their team just rolls in stacked every fucking season.
Money is.
But it's always fun to watch them lose when the playoffs come around. So
It's like the Lakers on it too, you know.
I mean, last year the Yankees should have finished way better than they did. They got eliminated the first round last year, didn't they?
Mhm.
Well, it was actually the wild card game, right?
Yeah, wild
I think
card.
it was.
Wild card.
The team was stacked. They should have won higher, and they didn't. It's always funny to watch them lose. Again, not knocking some players in history. You know, I got Mike Mussina was one of my favorite players. So, you know, I liked a couple of Yankees players over the years, but being a division rival, the Orioles, and the fact that their payroll is just insurmountable, they're number 3. Number 2 is the Boston Red Sox.
See, I'm looking at the picture right now.
Which one? The one with McDonald?
The Orioles taking us off on the head.
Yeah, Boston Red Sox. They got that great picture up there with the Oriole bird shitting on the hat.
Is that right above the Ben McDonald bobblehead?
I still don't have the bobblehead. I got to do it the starting lineup figure though. The Boston Red Sox, and my main logic behind this would be was it 2003 when they broke the curse and they won the World Series?
Mm-hmm.
The next day, everybody had fucking Red Sox hats on.
Right.
It's like, you know, you can't even name 5 players on the team, but you're a Red Sox
They
fan
were
now.
really snazzy though.
Red Sox hats? They just have
Snazzy.
they just have a red B on them. I liked a few players for the Red Sox growing up too. I mean, you know, back when they broke the curse, I became a Johnny Damon fan at that time because he had the whole Jesus look with the long hair and the beard, and he was tearing it up in the World Series. But I don't know, man. I just can't back it when people. And I feel like their fans are probably even a little bit more obnoxious than the Yankees fans because they like to let it be known that they're Red Sox fans, and a lot of them have to try and explain it all. But I was a fan before the 2003 World Series. You know, I went way back then. I didn't jump on the bandwagon. So that's my number 2 pick. Number 1, I would be surprised if at least 4 people in this room didn't have it as their number 1, or at least in the top 2. The Atlanta Falcons. I mean, I've been seeing season tickets for 12 years.
Yeah.
I've been a Saints fan my whole life.
Falcons
Falcons have pretty much been the main division rivals since I was a kid.
You got the LSU Tigers too?
No.
But
I went to LSU.
But the Falcons, I mean, I can't really say I really like too many players in that organization over the years. Although
I'm not gonna lie, I was pulling for Atlanta against the Patriots.
I kind of was too.
Yeah.
But it was funny to watch them blow the lead, was it not?
No, it was. I mean, like it was a win-win. Like if the Patriots win, you're like, yeah.
Because Matt Ryan is one of those guys that actually gained respect for after he finished. And I think he's a really good commentator. But it was always funny watching him get sacked by Cam
It was funny watching him do pregame in the last Super Bowl. It's like, as someone who's played in this game before, I'm like, loser.
So Dirty Birds come in as my number 1.
All right. I'll go next since Todd basically said all of mine except LSU. My first honorable mention is actually his number 1, which was the Falcons, because I didn't think about them until late. I mean, obviously, we're local Saints fans. That's our big rival. This will be quick. Number 5 is the Patriots for most of the reasons that Todd mentioned. Tom Brady, great. Let's just say he's great at optimizing his situation. It's like he took pay cuts to get, you know what I'm saying? Like took pay cuts to get players and things like that. Like I think that was the smartest thing he did was like helping his defenses and get players around him. But like you can't deny, I mean, he's a great quarterback, but I got sick of them always fucking winning, and it was just ridiculous. For the Lakers, I kind of didn't even like them when I was a kid. I was a Celtics guy. Like I grew up Larry Bird
And like AIDS boy.
I didn't like Magic Johnson, who beat AIDS with cash.
Great episode.
Yeah.
I did like Magic Johnson.
Number 3, I have one. My number 1 is not one he mentioned, so it'll be a ringer. Number 3 is Alabama because my dad.
Bob's a fan, right?
He's a huge fucking Saban fan. He doesn't like Bama anymore now. He's like, I don't know if I'm going to watch Alabama anymore. But he just, like, worshipped the ground Saban walked on. And I just got sick of, like...
Saban just doesn't seem like a good person. He seems
he's
like
an asshole.
He seems like a total person.
And, like, I knew guys, like, because I was in the band at LSU during the Saban National Championship.
You know,
Skin flu, yeah.
You know
right.
the Heath Evans story? Saying,
Oh, yeah, when he was puking in the locker room and Saban just walked over him.
Yeah.
What does that have to... I was on the drum line.
Did you play
I
neck?
think that's fighting words, Biff.
We didn't play neck at
I think
that.
that means a drum off.
I think it means the drum off is
There's a drum off. He's having it right now.
He's talking shit. Jeez.
What's up?
It's called Drumline. The
We'll
movie.
get some trash cans outside, Russell.
Biff, do you have 2 sets of drums? Because I don't think Mike has his anymore.
No, but that's a low mic drums.
Hold on.
We didn't have a drum off with 2 sets.
When you played it, did you do this and cut it?
Can I cut the balls of the skin flute?
But before you get going, Russell mentioned Drumline the movie, and this brings me to an idea for another top 5 guilty pleasures.
Is that
Doesn't have,
Drumline?
no, it doesn't have to be a specific
is that one of
movie.
my guilty
No.
Is it the one scene where he loves the drum?
No, but
Playing the flute.
But if I had to think about it, that movie might be one of my
the top 5 guilty
yeah, because I kind of like it. Oh, it's so terrible.
Nick Cannon.
It's not good.
Nick Cannon's great. It's not good.
But I'll watch it with its own.
Human beings.
Might have to be
Yeah, that's one of those like you stop, like all right, I guess I'm just watching here.
Nick
top
Cannon.
5 pieces of shit.
In 10 years, Nick Cannon can populate an entire movie with his children. So, yeah.
Isn't Orlando Jones in that?
Yeah, he was. That was during his.
Hit him a little front of the
He was
bumblebee.
riding that 7-Up wave. You know.
They can't keep his wiener concealed.
Neither can Tyreek Hill.
Orlando Jones fell off the earth.
Yeah, thank goodness, because I got tired of his
Was that movie,
generic acting.
Evolution?
Yeah,
Wasn't he
one of those.
gross?
Yeah, that was garbage.
All right, my number 2 is Yankees / Red Sox. I feel like they're all dipshits.
Yeah,
Like all the fans are dipshits. Like
It shows that was
equally.
one of the Yankees.
Like
I can't argue there, but
like all Yankees fans and Red Sox fans to me are interchangeable. Some of them probably are both. You know, like depending on who's winning at the
Yep,
time.
you're correct.
Like
fine,
honestly,
sure.
like that's what it feels like. They'll be like, I'll see these guys that are like, oh yeah, Red Sox because they're doing well right now.
It's kind of like the very casual fan who goes with just the two most popular teams. Like, yeah, I did follow the Yankees, but now I follow the Red Sox.
Right.
How can you follow both?
How can you?
Didn't you say there was a camp kid that had both of them in his top 5 favorite sports teams?
He had both hats. He would change, like one day he would wear them.
See,
One day
it's
he would
legit.
I said, don't you have a Yankees hat too? He said, yeah, I like them both. I said, you can't like them both. Like that's just
It's like the biggest
Right.
rivalry.
it's
in
sacrilege.
Right. So my number one was not mentioned by Todd, so I'm getting it in before any of you can. It's the dipshits that second line down Bourbon Street when they came here, and it's Cowboys fans.
Yeah.
I fucking hate the Cowboys.
I'm sure
Mainly because of their
people
fans.
have those on here too.
Mainly because of their fans. And LSU fans suck. I'm an LSU supporter, but the fans, and I've told this story on this podcast before, where I was in the band, and I'll sell it very briefly. We were marching back to the stadium and got in a fist fight with our own fans.
Yeah, LSU fans are.
With our own fans that would not get out of the way of the Golden Band from Tigerland. Would not get out of the way, and they started, these drunk fucking Cajun rednecks were fighting with us.
You sure they weren't Nichols fans?
Yeah, that's what I know. Was it a homecoming game?
Well,
We went and playing
There
Nichols.
might have been LSU fans who went to Nichols.
They just changed
That
hats.
happens.
They changed hats at halftime.
Yeah, you got all the LSU fans that you.
So yeah, number one is Cowboys because their fans are abysmal and they're everywhere.
Well, see, they're kind of like. I mean, the Cowboys fans are kind of like the Yankees.
I like
fans.
Dak. I actually like the team better than their fans.
I mean,
Yeah.
But a lot of times you're
Y'all
right.
like CeeDee
the
Lamb.
fan bases would
CeeDee
destroy
Lamb,
the
bro.
team. You know?
Yeah. So
CeeDee's
I
milk.
my number one was
I work
Cowboys.
with a guy born and raised here, and he's got, well, he used to have the two helmets in his office, a Bama helmet and a Cowboys helmet facing each other.
No,
I was like, could you pick the two worst teams to be a fan of, born and raised in New Orleans?
Well, I would say bandwagon must, but Cowboys.
And then we had a guy who was a former LSU player, and on LSU Bama week, he would go replace the Bama helmet with LSU helmet, and wait till he notices.
Can't like them.
But yeah, that's my top five.
I can transition because you made me add the only.
Transition.
Yes, I'm
You
gonna.
get transition, Sean?
Yes, I'm in the works. But because of that, I added
Don't take the estrogen.
the only baseball team on my list, and to add to the Yankees, Red Sox, the Cubs. Because same thing with the fans of like,
He's number one.
I'm sorry, everyone on the planet, was like, oh, I'm a Cubs fan. Why?
Because we had WGN on cable
Well,
back
wait,
Did you
then.
even name a player
Have
that
you
plays
seen
for
like
the Cubs?
the decal? It's like Nola Cubs fan or something like
yeah, I
that.
can't stand that shit.
Well, my father-in-law it said when I first started dating Heather, it said his favorite baseball team was the Cardinals, and then when the Indians made it to the World Series against the Cubs, and he knew I was a huge Indians fan, he was pulling for the Cubs, and I was like, "You're not supporting your son-in-law's team?" He's like, "Oh no, there's just something about the Cubs. They haven't won in a long time." I was like, "Didn't you tell me you were a Cardinals fan? Like,
Right,
You can't. That's like you can't pull for the Cubs if you like the Cardinals."
So anyway, I had to throw it out because I didn't have baseball on the list, and I'm like, oh yeah, the Cubs are just like that. The fans,
Cubbies.
quote unquote. But yeah, that NOLA shirt with the Cubs logo is the O in NOLA. It's like that makes no sense at all.
Yeah, that's so cool.
Patrick's just like seething with anger.
No, I'm not because
Do
there's,
you own that?
I think no.
No, I'm saying he agrees. I can tell. I know he agrees.
I think it's 45 Chop, the bar on Chapatulas. It's a Cubs bar, and they have that logo all over the place.
I was going to say too about the LSU thing. I'd love to know the stats of how many LSU fans actually went to LSU. It's like how lopsided that is.
I was talking about that with my dad the other day when he's like, oh, look, my mom we were looking at game highlights because we don't get SEC fucking plus or whatever all the games are on. And we were looking at the game highlights. She's like, "Oh, do the students go to the games?" I'm like, "No, it's all these old fucks that just live in Baton Rouge that probably didn't even go to LSU. They're just Baton Rouge, citizens." And they're like, "Oh, LSU," wearing their stupid hats and shirts and stuff.
The ultimate thing I hate is how people act like it's the #1 song in the world is the Colin Baton Rouge. It says Baton Rouge, I'm just in my pants.
I wish I could never hear the song.
I'm so sick of hearing it at Tiger home games. And it's like, And they play it every third quarter?
Garth Brooks is gone.
I got to experience
This is when it's a
calling
sweet
Baton Rouge
Huh?
by Garth
By Garth
Colin
Brooks.
Baton Rouge.
at Tiger Stadium
Garth
last year.
Brooks song.
Everyone's losing their fucking mind when the songs come on. I'm like, put a
When he
bullet
played
in my
at Tiger
fucking-
Stadium and he played that song, it measured on the Richter scale. And
I was
seismic activity.
I was there.
Mm-hmm.
It's like it's like how many brain cells are total were like
They played it at the rugby game last night.
Yeah.
Nola Gold, Colin Baton Rouge. But anyway, so yeah, I had, let's see. So an honorable mention, it's surprisingly I could come up with a hockey team. And I don't remember too well, but it's funny. It was like when I was like probably into hockey the most, I'd have to go with the Red Wings. And specifically the 2002 era when they won the Stanley Cup because they had a bunch of douchebags on that team. I mean, I like some of them, Chelios, I forget who else.
Was that the Sergei Fedorov, Steve
Steve
Eisenman?
Eisenman,
Mhm.
Paul Coffey.
Yeah, Eisenman was their captain. Who was their goalie? They had
That's good.
Chris Osgood.
okay. Yeah, I remember like not hating them all, but it was just like how everybody was like a bandwagon Red
Yeah, well,
Red
they were-
fan.
They were kind of that dynasty for a while because back when that late '90s, early 2000s, they were the team that you know they were stacked, so they would win all the
Yeah,
time.
they were like the Chiefs of the friggin' NHL. Anyway, and then next one, like we said, like everybody's saying, it's got to be Patriots. Brady's Patriots. Like I just like
Brady.
that. So
Yeah, they're terrible.
not that I hated Tony Eason or anybody like that. The whole school
Why's it gotta be
Patriots.
about Brady?
But no, I mean,
Because you're the only guy in this room that likes Brady.
I can say over the years, especially, I've gained more respect for Brady, especially when he went to Tampa and still won one to show that he's not, all,
We didn't
system
talk,
quarterback and all that kind of crap.
we didn't talk about the Brady roast today, but they had some good stuff in it. But Brady himself was terrible.
Well, he's not funny.
He's up there and he's like trying to roast people. Like, dude, you were just like not funny at all.
Honestly, I hope he bombs that they can, they just putting him right there in the middle of like commentating this year coming up, like he's the number one analyst all of a sudden. It's like he hasn't done TV at all.
Yeah, he's supposed to replace Olsen, right?
Yeah, I think.
Well, honestly,
Yeah.
Olsen's. I don't like Olsen.
Oh, I think Olsen was great.
Really?
I like
He
him.
just talked too much.
I thought Olsen and Romo were the best two.
Romo's great, but
It's funny because then Romo's been getting flack apparently. They've been acting like he lost his edge or something. It's like I always
Wow.
think Romo's.
I think people just hate him because he was a cowboy, but the dude is great at breaking down shit.
He is. Olsen just
He's
talks
just
too
like
fucking
women.
much for me. That's
Also,
not
at first
working.
his voice was a little rough, but I got used to it. I mean, I
Yeah.
felt like he was. I mean, they did a.
He could be in Wicked.
Well, anyway,
I'm sorry.
moving on. So yes, here's my top five. Number five, like I said, I was asking about errors because I don't hate this team all time, but it has to be LeBron's Heat. When
Oh,
LeBron was on the Heat and won the 2 championships and all of his building a super team, and because like I didn't.
and missing the shot.
One, not two, not three.
And Ray Allen saving his ass on one of the
Right.
championships, and
Dwayne Wade.
Getting bodied by JJ Barea.
hmm I mean, because I don't know, I didn't dislike the Heat when who was like Lonzo Mourning and other players over the years.
When they sucked.
I mean, I didn't like
Eddie Jones.
yeah. Shaq was on for the
Shaq was, yeah, they
I don't know.
won't
When,
with
when
Shaq.
Zoe and LJ got in that fight, I wanted LJ to break his fucking jaw.
Yeah, Shaq win a championship with the Heat?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, that's what I thought, yeah. So it's specifically LeBron's Heat. And then that's kind of the segue into the number 4 is the
LeBron's Lakers.
Golden State Warriors.
That's a good one.
With, not so much Steph Curry, but that whole was when they got Durant, I was like, oh, fuck that team. Fuck
Curry
Durant
was
and
there.
that team.
What about that turd Draymond?
Especially him. I always hated him. I did like him when they won the first time when like Iguodala was like, the MVP, and it's like they worked for that championship. It felt like the other two were just like, just give him the damn trophy. They go,
Just give me the truth.
they go 73-9 or whatever the hell, and then they get Durant. It's like the best team in history needs a freaking all-star, best player in the league. It's
Let me
like,
get a ring.
yeah, just give him the trophy. And then number 3 is of course the Falcons.
Yeah.
Just have to as a Saints fan. No good explanation other than it's the Falcons for us.
Matty.
And number 2 might be a little surprising because thinking of like NFL teams, and for some reason, I don't know, y'all probably will get it. Not like I've hated this team, I just never liked them, was the Ravens. which
I
is
used to because of Ray Lewis.
Ray Lewis. I mean, I'm not a.
Ray Rice.
I don't really like Lamar Jackson. I mean, I don't know.
Mike has a Ray Rice jersey still hanging.
I mean, something about
I used
like
to love Ray
the
Rice.
something about the culture of the Ravens. I just never liked the way that team plays. It's.
Ed Reed. Come on.
I mean,
man, get the
that
fuck
too.
out
I
of
was, even though Ed Reed's
Get the fuck out of here!
Yeah,
Move on.
I don't know. I just like every time.
I respect
Redact.
Yeah, I don't know why. I was trying to think of other NFL teams and was like, yeah, just like always.
I think because they always beat
How good
Detroit.
was that defense?
I just hope that team loses
the
every
whole
year.
like
What?
Ray Lewis and Saragusa and
Saragusa was great.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, he shows up to training camp. He's like, go lose 30 pounds and come back.
he died. Huh?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, Gusa died.
Yeah, and then finally, number one has got to be Bama. Just because the things I've already said about it and Saban. I mean, yeah, my parents love Saban too. They talk about Nicky all the time. And all
Oh,
this.
God. They call him Nicky.
Mhm, my mom does, yeah.
Mom knows.
Because I think they're almost like they're the same age, born the same year.
Can we say
like,
that? Can we say that Sean's mom is a Nick Saban groupie?
Little Nick
from LSU, and yeah, not so much as a Bama coach, but yeah, she loved him when he was at LSU, and yeah.
My dad's obsessed with Saban. But he's retired now, so hopefully he finds someone else to grovel after.
Yeah, he seems like a nozzle, and yeah, when he coached Miami, that story by Heath Evans of him supposedly like walking over a guy that was injured or something in the hallway. Or
I think he was like having a heat stroke, puking or
yeah, this
something.
dude's like freaking dying, and Saban just like walks over him in the hallway.
If he dies, he dies.
I didn't get to finish my story about how bad Saban was. The players hated it at LSU. Like the players that played for him didn't even like him. And they're like
universal thing now.
yeah, I knew.
Until they won the championship.
No, they didn't. They didn't.
All over him.
Well, I mean, I'm sure they're celebrating with him, but I mean, like they didn't like him. You know, like that. There was a guy that was on special teams that was a close friend, and he's like, the guys in the locker room fucking can't stand him. They just sit in the meetings and they're like, yes, okay. Just like he's such a dick. He's a dick to everybody. My dad, and that's why I'm surprised my dad liked him, because it was like at the coaching clinics and stuff. He's like, oh yeah, Saban didn't talk to any of the coaches and blah blah blah. And like Les Miles and everything, he was like, oh yeah, you know, like having a beer with him and stuff. And like Saban was just like all distant, like he's holier than thou.
Let's
Very
see
fitting
pretty
that
cool dude. Nice guy.
Saban was on Belichick's staff in Cleveland because they both like dry ass, boring ass coaches.
Coach O seemed like a pretty cool dude too. Is he like
Coach O likes to.
Coach O like to chase that
Oh,
golf
yeah.
course.
I can't believe we got rid of Coach O so fast.
I don't know about that.
Coach O chasing that young tail out there.
Yeah. Yes, he is.
Bringing his girlfriends to practice.
Collecting that money from LSU and
That dude got a
cracking up on young
out.
girls. Mike Russell, he doing the old. You have any?
Oh man, no, this is so outside of my realm. Like, my top five should be essentially just all five of them, the Atlanta Falcons, because I mean, I'm a Saints fan, and fuck the Falcons. But I would just like to take this opportunity to have an honorable mention about a local kickball team, and I'm gonna say fuck the Maulers. And
Maulers,
Patrick on the Maulers?
Maulers, if you're listening.
I'd like to. How many championships has the Maulers won? That you've been on? Oh, 0. And how many championships has the Niners won? When I've been on that team,
So the
is it
Maulers,
3?
like, and they maul people, or like they go to mall?
They go to malls.
Like we need a
Also, I'd like to
It
particularly.
sounds like you're kicking a man when he's down. It's like they don't win, and you're shitting on his team.
Sounds like we need a kickball off to go with the drum off.
It's like a kickoff.
The last thing I would like to say about that is, fuck the guy that usually has the microphone that does not play anymore.
Matt Wilbrad.
Yes, I wasn't gonna say it. For sure.
Hey, I'm a realist. We had a lot of nozzles on our team.
All right, so
when I
the term
started-
nozzle has been said, and it's just upsetting that you're not using it by its proper terminology. Like, call them douche nozzles. Come on.
You gotta blame Todd for that because he started with the nozzle thing. It's funny.
It's just douche nozzle abbreviated.
I feel like there's some. I would give so much
The
respect
douche
to
is silent.
the terminology
Fine.
of douche nozzle.
You're being a douche nozzle.
That's fair. I'm
We're
accepting.
complaining about the uses of nozzle. I'll deal with you and your fucking kickball team later, but carry on.
Sounds like there's a lot of nozzly things going on in kickball.
But there is a lot of nozzle things going on.
Oh, that's an understatement.
Half the league is all just nozzles.
Patrick, do you have a Premier League football team on your list?
I have a Premier League soccer team, yes.
Football.
That's right there.
Football Americano.
Possibly.
Let's say soccer.
Somewhere, maybe.
Is it Chelsea?
Possibly.
Patrick, since y'all are talking about kickball, how about
Who's next?
Wait,
You're done?
Yeah, no, I'm done. It was just the NFL.
That was like my top 5.
Falcons and them all.
All right. Here's
Keep
my
it
one.
A top two in particular.
No particular order except the top 2.
Hepatitis.
I'm not a fan of Team Hepatitis.
Hepatitis FC football.
I just got 5.
Okay. That's fine.
Number 5, the Bears.
Oh,
the
Bears.
Every
Now-
time you go play them, as the Saints go.
Now, the
Oh,
NFC
yeah, that's
NFC
true.
Championship
Bunch of
game.
trash talking motherfuckers. And
Yeah, fuck them when they have Rex Grossman as their quarterback in the
Fuck
NFC
them.
Championship
Fuck
game.
Yeah. Back in the Reggie
Finishing
Bush
what
days.
Katrina started.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Bears finishing what Katrina started.
Yeah, I remember that
Don't
song.
like them.
Fuck you, Bears.
The next one, the Cowboys.
That's fan specifically.
Thank you.
Everybody mentioned the Cowboys.
I'm
not
not
me.
on the Cowboys. I was the only one.
Don't really care. I like making
I
fun
like,
of the Cowboys more than I like watching
I like
the
that.
Cowboys. So it's one of those, and I got a buddy of mine. He's
Yeah,
like
American.
hardcore cowboy, and like I can't even joke with him because he's like he gets all fucking
They got all offended.
pissy and whatever.
Just wait till the playoffs and give them a call.
The next one is the Lakers. I don't fucking like the Lakers. LeBron is a fucking tool. Anthony Davis. I mean, the unibrow thing.
Anthony Davis is soft as they come, man.
Were y'all
He
also
is
like
very
praising
normal.
him when he was playing with us, or
No.
When he flipped off the crowd,
Yeah, I mean, it was,
I don't know.
it was basically towards the end.
I was
That's
never
where
a big
everybody
fan
started
of him
hating
here.
him.
Yeah.
because he choked in big games,
And
just like he does with fucking
before
Lakers.
before his time was even up with the Pelicans, he had kind of already worked out a deal with LeBron to.
And he was
go to
tanking
Los
his last
Angeles.
couple of seasons,
And
and
he
like,
walked out his last game flicking off the fan. So
yeah, it's just he's a douchebag.
Then my number 2, this is the actual number 2, is the Falcons. Because you can't be a Saints fan and, not hate the Falcons.
That's true.
And then my number 1, I don't know if it's allowed because we didn't kind of really talk about the parameters here.
Is it a
It
marble?
is a local grammar school. I don't know what the parameters.
Get your popcorn
I
ready.
get your list. Say whatever you want, dog.
It's part of my grinds, my gears. And
Home Depot has a team?
it's gonna be very unpopular.
Two seconds later.
Anyway,
all right. On that note, I'll go ahead and jump into. Anyway, all right. So nobody's mentioned them yet. My first honorable mention is going to be the USC Trojans.
Ooh,
I'm
good
surprised
one.
nobody has. This even goes back to the Pete Carroll days. I feel like it's not like a division rival for any of the teams I follow. Just well, I guess it kind of is with Stanford, but at the same time, I just feel like most of their athletes that come out of there are just kind of like very arrogant, very cocky.
I don't like how they're always preseason ranked extremely high,
Always overrated.
like another team that you like, but unfortunately.
Is that Ohio State?
The
Anyway.
overrated team.
My second honorable mention has been mentioned, I think maybe just by Todd, but it is the Houston Astros, and I've got the years 2020 to present
There you go.
because hasn't always been hasn't been a long-term hate for the Astros. It's just the cheating scandal that started in 2020. They're still cheating to this day. One of the teams that really zeroed in on catching them cheating was my Cleveland Indians at the time. So I really cannot stand that team. And like Todd said, the people here, when they're winning, will say, "Oh, they're my team because they're the closest team here." It's like well, you can't really call yourself a fan if you just follow them casually when they make the playoffs, you know. So, Houston Astros, USC Trojans, first honorable mention. Houston Astros, 2020 to present, second honorable mention. Third honorable mention, the 2011 to 2019 Carolina Panthers. And I guess you can keep the Carolina Panthers in anyway because they're a division rival of the Saints, but particularly hated them when Cam Newton was the quarterback. I still can't stand Cam Newton after he retired. He just doesn't go away. He just tries to find a way to make himself relevant, but he's not.
Making fun of Brock Purdy, who's actually in the Super Bowl and in the league, and it's like, what are you doing?
Right.
Sitting there not playing, and you're only 34.
So, yeah, I don't like the Panthers in general because they're a division rival, but I'm just going to narrow it down to the 2011 to 2019, the years that Cam Newton was there. I really despised that era of the Carolina Panthers. Last honorable
point in his first down.
Oh yeah, and like he would kind of run into the end zone at the beginning of Saints games after they did like their pregame stretches, and he would, mock fans.
They're losing by 32 points, and he still does his little first down dance. It's like, dude, look at the scoreboard.
Last honorable mention is going to be just kind of a homer pick for me because I don't necessarily really hate any team in the Cleveland Guardians division. But of late, the team that's been kind of sticking my side a little bit is the Minnesota Twins. They're the team that's been kind of rivaling. God, I can't even say it. Rivaling the Guardians of late. They're the two top teams in the division. They have been for the last couple of years. So they're kind of that team that has crawled into my honorable mentions as a team I don't really like anymore. Most of my top five have been mentioned some way, shape, or form. Number 5 is going to be the current Los Angeles Lakers, the 2-picker here, / the 2010 to 2014 Miami Heat.
There you go.
There's a common denominator there, fellas. That's when LeBron James was on these teams. So can't stand the current Lakers. Can't stand the 2010 to 2014 Heat. As a matter of fact, I'm not a huge basketball fan by any stretch, but the most satisfying NBA championship to me was when Dirk Nowitzki's Dallas Mavericks beat the Miami Heat.
Especially when they were mocking, when Dwayne Wade and LeBron were mocking Dirk because he was sick.
Mm.
They walking in making fun of him, he's coughing.
So, yeah. LeBron James teams, I can't put the Cleveland Cavs teams in there because, it's the land. So, I'm not going to put the LeBron Cavs in there. But Lakers / Heat when LeBron was on them comes in at number 5. Number 4 is the only hockey team that's going to make my list. And that would be the Las Vegas Golden Knights. The Kings' biggest rival, Los Angeles Kings' biggest rival is the San Jose Sharks. Because Todd is a fan of them, I've never really grown to hate them as much as most Kings fans do. But just beyond that, I think the Las Vegas Golden Knights have become the rival to both the Kings and the Sharks. And, they're kind of a young, cocky team. Have built it up, kind of taken some more young talent from other teams like Jack Eichel, and have just become a pretty unlikable team. And I know when Mike made his pick as the Knights as a favorite, we were all pretty disgusted in here. So they're going to be the only hockey team that makes it. They come in at number 4. Number 3, most people in here have mentioned them, Boston Red Sox. Again, I left the Yankees off, but you can almost put them in the same boat. But it's the same kind of thing Todd mentioned. They were a losing franchise for so long. In that 2003 year, it was like everybody went out and bought their Red Sox gear. Said, "Oh, I'm a lifelong fan." You're only a lifelong fan. We know this as Saints fans if you support them during the losing years. And I didn't see too many of that, especially from local. We'll use the quotes here, parentheses, whatever you want to call it. I'm not an English major. But the Red Sox fans who are lifelong here in the New Orleans area, because you didn't see too much of that until they won. Number 2, the Atlanta Falcons. That's been the common trend here in everybody's top 5. Saints season ticket holder for 16 years and still, love them. Favorite football team, and their biggest rival has always been the Atlanta Falcons, always will be. A lot of hate to go around there. So they come in at number 2. And nobody's mentioned my number 1 yet. It should come as no surprise to a lot of people in this room once I say them. But it's the Michigan Wolverines. I hate Jim Harbaugh. I've never liked Michigan, but when he got there, it became even worse for me. Now that he's gone, it'll still be bad, but I'll actually start hating the Los Angeles Chargers because he's there. Fuck Michigan. Go Bucks.
What?
You're a Chargers fan.
No. Mr. Phillip Rivers over here. What a turn. How can hate the Chargers? It's a different era now.
Yep. Well, Rivers was the reason I liked the Chargers, so now that he's gone and Harbaugh's there.
I forgot to add one that maybe made me think of it. Friggin' Pittsburgh Steelers. I'm sick of the bandwagon.
Steelers?
Those Steelers.
I actually heard they're interested in signing Michael Thomas. So
Have fun with him.
So Mark can't escape Michael Thomas.
That'll be hilarious.
So that leaves you, Pat.
All right. I was going to start my portion of this episode with a, I don't know if soliloquy is the right word for what I was going to do. Maybe a little monologue for a second. But I'm going to start, well, maybe later. But I'll say this to piggyback off of what you said. They didn't make my top 5 or my honorable mention, but the Ohio State University can go fuck off. More specifically, the football team and Jim Tressel, but the baseball team, basketball
You're
team.
just like spinning a knife in his side right now.
It's like he's stuck it in and he's twirling around.
Like Urban Meyer, I can understand why Tressel.
Don't get me started on that nozzle either.
Speaking of Jason Tail,
Wow.
Any athletic program
That puts him.
that is associated or affiliated with that university can fuck right off. I don't like them. I don't even like their arch nemesis. I just don't like them. Never really have. This has been a point of contention, not only contention of Travis and I since we've known each other. We just know.
Took it to another level with Mike's hockey team was getting the.
Travis isn't going to be able to sleep.
Mike's hockey team has
seen
one game.
He just this is the sweater vest. Like,
Now, getting to kind of framing and
unloaded a can of whoop ass.
shaping my top 5. There's a theme with a lot of the teams in my top 5 and honorable mention, but it also kind of reminds me of a kickball team that kind of does some of the same and also has some of their own sleazy tactics of player recruitment, just having some sleazy players on their team, like players that might spit in the face of another kickball player because they have uncontrolled rage issues. I don't fucking know. But I get shit for my team not being good, and that's fair. And the record speaks for itself. Russell's team has more championships. But you want to talk who has more nozzles? From top to bottom over the course of a lifetime?
He's just 100% right. It's just fact.
Yeah.
Point.
And I also don't play for a team named after the most cliche frat boy bro thing of all time, the 69ers. Yes. And their cool little chant of, give me a 6, give me a 9, give 69, yeah.
Wow.
Fucking original.
That is pretty.
Super original. I will not argue with the talent that team has amassed, whether they did it shady or not, whatever.
Recruiting college athletes.
Well, it was St. Pat's in transition to Comiskey, which is now transitioning
Back to St.
Pat's.
Yeah.
I haven't played the last couple of years.
Like, my team embraces the whole.
I didn't always play on the team.
Our league has, before I started playing, the general vibe towards my team was fuck them all. We were super obnoxious. So everything he said is completely correct and warranted.
I said when I started in like 2011, that was
in there.
So Jake, well,
There's not much in there.
Kokomore and Scott Ray were the two people that approached me to recruit me to both of those teams.
Yeah.
I ultimately chose the Niners.
You picked the more nozzly team of the two. That's fair. But also,
Which is so weird.
But also the
not me at
more
all.
winning of the two.
So wait, this is actually like a competitive type?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's competitive.
It's not a beer league?
No.
Like, it's,
No.
You're actually
No.
trying.
Yeah.
Yes.
And let me tell you this. Before I knew Russell,
Took the first
I didn't like Russell. Before before I met Russell, like really met him and knew him, didn't like him for no other reason
That's
than
just because I was on the team.
he was on that team. I had issues with some players on their team because I went to high school with one or two of them. So that's the whole thing with that. But I told him to say about your precious, beloved, holier than thou kickball team.
We should do a podcast at the game.
That's your words, not mine.
idea.
I stand by it.
I think so.
I did. One of them listens to this episode. I hope they hear it. They know who they are and what they are.
What's your chant?
Our chant?
chant.
It's not weird. It's just like we do 1, 2, 3.
All of them.
No, we just say
God.
we don't really have a chant per se. We're just getting like all right, not Maulers on 3, 1, 2, 3 Maulers, and people go game. We don't have like a give me a 6, give me a 9, 9, 9. Maybe I can get a time with Todd doing this.
Maybe the Maulers.
So the honorable mentions. First honorable mention.
What were those?
That was just something I needed to get off my chest. That was an impromptu grind my gears about the holier than thou-ness of fucking Russell his kickball life.
I'm really surprised it didn't crack an honorable mention.
Since the man talking shit when he doesn't play anymore either. How about that?
I can't add to that. It's like there's nothing worse in recreational sports than as my dad used to call him, the frustrated athlete.
His whole team.
Ask Pat how much he's
the
traveled
people that for some reason
for me.
Or that they make like winning a fucking trophy that wins you absolutely nothing with bragging rights, like so important.
Oh, you mean?
It's a lot.
Oh, you mean like Mike Miley coaches?
Like
who
a couple hundred pairs.
I mean,
are supposed to play everybody.
intramural softball. Cabbage ball out at St. Schmidward. This dude. It was like my first year playing. It's like everybody makes the playoffs. But this dude, he hits like one deep into the outfield, almost got thrown out at home, whatever. But he like runs through almost like, mauls the catcher, who's usually a girl, like, and then like kicks and like slaps the backstop, and he goes, "Playoffs, motherfucker!" And it was like, who gives a shit that much?
Get on the track when the train's coming through, bitch.
League ball during the week, same thing right now. Nothing's changed.
Pros laying on the ground.
Like we've had in the last 5 years, there had to be emails going out to be like, "Look, this is a family. We're on the school ground. There's kids here. Chill the fuck out." In so many words, like y'all take this way too fucking serious.
Right?
You don't even win a trophy. You just win bragging rights to say you won a cabbage ball.
We play 6 games.
That's like I tell people every year. I pick my friends, and if we're good, we're good. If we're bad, we're bad. And I'm going to pick people I have fun with. I do not pick the best players and try to win the damn championship every year. It's ridiculous.
Right. So let me power through this real quick.
Power.
4 honorable mentions per se.
Oh, jeez.
The first honorable mention is a combo of the Blackhawks and the Red Wings. Fuck both their franchises and their fan bases. I hate Chris Chelios. He played for both. He is a complete fucking tool bag. I like the Red Wings back in like the NHL 94-ish days of Yzerman and Fedorov and all of that. Great team. But just in general, sorry, Beer Nat. Fuck the Red Wings. Fuck the Blackhawks. Whatever.
Probably I wouldn't say Blackhawks.
Second honorable mention, not so much the team, it's because of their fans. It's Cowboys.
Definitely.
Just every year it's our year. We them boys. We ain't been them boys for a long time.
It's American.
Wiz Khalifa song.
Doesn't America's team just crawl up?
Well, guess
under
what?
your skin?
There's 2 Americas.
Yeah, America's team. Yeah.
2 Americas. Not my America's team. My
president.
My third honorable mention. This is where we get into. We're
not getting political, Todd.
It's all Mike's koozie.
Let's go, Brandon.
Hey, what about my koozie?
Where's the koozie? Where does koozie go?
I don't even see my koozie. How did you see my koozie? I don't even have it out.
Yeah, he couldn't take a sip from the beer with that.
I know, he took
I gave it back though.
I see it.
Yeah, he put it back.
I saw
I put it back on. Give it to him.
Hey, what does FJB mean?
Anyway, back to top 5 list that we're doing.
Top 5 list. Yes.
Third honorable mention: teams that buy and spend and spend and spend. Chelsea Football Club / Manchester United Football Club. All they do is just rest on like their fucking beautiful, prestigious name and just blow money, and it doesn't fucking work. And every year that they bring in all this high price, $100 million player talent, and it fails, it's a great year for me. My last honorable mention, and it's going to be an odd one, but it's specifically for two players, and I've made my feelings about one of these players, though he is from the great state of Louisiana, known. I don't fucking like him. He's a piece of shit slime ball. It is the Utah Jazz, specifically of the Stockton and Karl Malone era, because Karl Malone is a piece of shit. And John Stockton is a dirty piece of shit, just not off the court.
Is that the Utah Jazz where they don't allow music?
Yeah.
The Lakers went to Los Angeles where they're
Good.
Have to drop some hate on Trestle and Johnson. Not that I wouldn't like John Stockton, but
I hated his shorty.
Karl Malone, there's a funny story. Like when the Jazz were making the run against the Bulls, like my dad was pulling for the Jazz, and I was like, Karl Malone's a choke artist, and like I was like 9 or some shit. Like I didn't know anything about basketball, and like my dad's like at the end, he's like, I kind of agree with you. Like Karl Malone is a choke artist. Like he choked.
I love that they would
Not
not
an
give
NBA
us.
jam.
They would not give us the Jazz name back. Benson tried to get it for Pelicans, but they're like, "Oh, we have 2 finals appearances." Like, "Oh, excuse the fuck out of me. You've been to the finals. Congratulations." And Stockton,
Like,
that was the reason they wouldn't give us Jazz back.
I remember liking Jerry Sloan as a coach, but the fucking team, those two specifically, can't stand them, so I do not like them. I hate. He's more guilty by association. But he's also he's a little.
I mean, John Stockton rolled into practice in a Dodge Caravan. I mean, come on.
It's like, hold on, take the knife, just go like.
Stockton was a bit of a dirty player on the court.
Yeah,
let's just leave it at
Stockton
that.
wasn't one of my favorites. I just never.
Also, if you read into his how he rides outside for things and what he supports outside of the basketball
I
world,
don't know much about John.
a bit of a d-bag. Anyway, get to my top 5. I'm telling you right now,
30 for 30.
the Falcons did not make my top 5 because they've never been a legitimate threat to me, other than a year or two when Vic took them to like an NFC Championship game or the Matt Ryan years. Other than that, they've been shit. They've been shit for
That's a long time.
Yeah.
It's like 20 years.
Yeah, but they had 1 year that was worth a damn.
Yeah.
The other years they were shit. They were shit every other year. So, granted, the Saints were shit too a lot of those years, but it's not like they were like winning the division every year and dominating like say like the Patriots did or some other teams. They've been a stepbrother in theory for a long
Did
time.
you see the Northern Lights meme where it says the Northern Lights were over New Orleans and it said 28-3?
Yes.
It was great. The Northern Lights were over New Orleans. It says 28-3. Yeah.
My number 5, Notre Dame football.
Oh,
I thought somebody was going to say
You fucking suck.
no!
You got one natty in like the 90s with Lou
You're
Holtz.
fucking independent.
Yeah, pick a conference. Also, you haven't really won or done anything since like slavery. Damn, you fucking suck.
What about Rudy?
Trash.
What about Rudy?
Anybody can write a fake feel good story about some stupid fucking football player.
You left your eyes shut.
Mike's leaving.
Number 4.
Rudy's my man.
I hate the fucking Rudy thing.
What you think about Brian Kelly?
Brian Kelly. I fucking hate Brian Kelly. I'm an LSU fan.
I hate their fucking golden 24 karat helmets. I hate the fucking leprechaun.
What about Manti Te'o?
I hate him and his fake girlfriend.
And Notre Dame's another team.
It's not even a
with
fake
bandwagoners.
girlfriend. It's a non-existent
Yeah.
girlfriend.
Notre Dame's another team with bandwagoners like say.
Yes.
It's like, why Notre Dame?
Yeah.
Why would you like them?
Number 4.
Just because they're fired up.
Number 4 is the Yankees.
There you go.
A team that will just spend and spend and spend, and every year that they don't get anything out of it, it's a great
good
year
year.
for everybody.
Just
So-
satisfying.
Yeah.
Very satisfying.
Number 3,
ASMR.
it's the Lakers. Any Lakers. I don't like the Lakers
I'm
from
with Pat.
Present,
I didn't like
past,
in the 80s.
in between. Don't like them, don't care, never have, never will.
It's fucking highlight reel.
Kareem.
LA.
Cool.
Green.
Some individual players, great. The Lakers as a whole organization, don't like them. Fuck them.
Yeah.
Number 2, try to control myself. Those fucking lovable losers in Chicago. Listen to me, Chicago Cubs fans. You suck. You got one championship in 110-ish years, and you was the greatest fucking thing you've ever done in your life. Like, one championship. You want to play like, oh, but we suck so much, we should love us like that. No, you just fucking suck. Harry Carey, cool. I'm tired of fucking hearing taking out to the ball game though. I don't want to hear fucking Harry Carey say anymore. You can't, obviously, but no, fuck you. Fuck your stadium. Fuck Wrigley. It's a piece of shit.
No. Skis pitched 11 Ks at Wrigley Field.
Awesome.
Who? Harry Carey?
No, stadium.
Oh, yeah.
It's a dump.
Yeah, you got to go to some other ones.
It's a fucking dump, Mike. Don't get me wrong.
I love the stadium.
And
The stadium was great.
the
Stadium's amazing.
And then the Chicago dog. The Chicago dog. That's what I was about to say.
Hey, buddy,
I had some good memories there.
okay, and I had some memories there
As a
too.
matter of fact, when I went and saw
They
a
have
game
bottom of the
there,
strip clubs.
the Cubs beat the fucking Cardinals.
Well, that's happened before. You know.
That happens all the time.
It's
This year. Unfortunately.
everybody's beating the Cubs this year, all right? Or the Cardinals this year.
Cardinals this year. I know. I'm
No.
seeing them.
Obviously, as a Cardinals fan, since I went to my first Cardinals game, I've been conditioned, quote unquote, to not like the Cubs.
Of course.
But I never liked them from
I didn't like them either.
because back in the WGN days when it was them or the White Sox or the TBS, I was never a Cubs fan.
I didn't like the Braves.
I liked Andre Dawson. I liked some of the Sandberg and some other players, but
Mark Grace and Ryan Dempster.
yes, but as a collect. Oh, and if I was going to put Jeff Samardzija, who played at Notre Dame and then went to the Cubs. Fuck them. So fuck the Cubs.
I actually like Smart.
Hey, buddy, I like
I don't have Paul Samardzija,
Hey, buddy.
but he also played Notre Dame. So fuck him.
I get it.
Uh,
I like Skyball.
My-
He wasn't that good to the pros either. He was like Ben McDonald.
It's like a big McDonald's of Notre Dame.
Shots fired.
It was a bit like Ben McDonald.
Great sportscaster, though.
His McDonald was actually better than Samar.
He is a great
He's a
sportscaster.
really good commentator.
No, he is.
My number one
Can't deny that. He's
is
a national
it'll
treasure.
make sense because you know my favorite team is the Barcelona football club.
Real.
So their arch rival and their biggest nemesis is Real Madrid.
Yeah.
They are another team that will spend money like
Yeah.
the Yankees, like they can just print their own fucking money. Yes, and all these things. So I don't need to get into why I don't like them. I just hate them.
Yeah, of course.
I hate them and I have to. I have no other option. So yes, Real Madrid.
I was thinking you said Chelsea.
Yeah, because they're also one of those shit clubs that wants to just fucking spend money because they have a Russian oligarch owner and they just want to throw money out there left and right. And
That's racist.
fuck the Ruskies. I said,
I'm
I'll start World War III on this podcast. Fuck you, Russia. Fuck you, Russia. Fuck Mother Russia.
Putin?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Bitch.
Looking for Manchester
More like
City.
pussy.
Sit down.
No, Manchester United so close. Manchester City.
Sir Alex Ferguson of Manchester United, the theater of dreams, the Red Devils. Fuck Man United.
Glory, Man United.
Like, speaking of teams that spend a lot of money just because they have it, Manchester City just won their fourth consecutive.
But they've been spending some
But they
money.
have
So I don't
They
like
got
them.
the Saudi guys, huh?
Yes, I don't like Manchester City
That
as
was
well
my team one for you.
because they do the same sort of thing that I'm getting on these other teams about. But the level of arrogance. Granted, United has a lot of history to pull from,
Right.
so I can understand some of it. But their fans are some of the biggest pricks
City?
with the biggest entitlement.
City?
No, United.
Oh, United, yeah.
And it's just, it's the worst.
Have you ever been to Barcelona and watched a game there?
I have not been to watch a game.
Sounds like that you've been elsewhere. You've been there.
I'm telling you, if I go back to Barcelona, I'm not coming back home. You can just leave me there. I will find a job.
Take me back to
Have you run
Barcelona.
with the Bulls?
He'll be
Not
a
there.
distributor in Barcelona.
I've not been to Pamplona.
He's gonna run with the Bulls.
Would you?
I've done one of the Bulls out here and got my ass torn up by a fucking plastic bat by a bitches and roller skates.
Bitches and rollers.
And guess
Would
what?
you reacted to the real or about the Bulls?
I liked it.
I like it.
I liked it a lot. Spank me hard.
I do it again.
Please. Sorry for my rage.
Oh, you okay?
I just-
You spent like time in it.
It started
back on
very
today,
high.
so.
on the level of.
Technically, this is Russell's fault. I was much more even killed to
I don't know
Russell.
if you would have said any of that.
No, but like
Probably-
I'm talking about the Ohio State rank.
Oh well, that was just he probably knew that was coming. In some small part.
Once you started, once you said like, oh, well, that reminds me of something. Like, yeah, I knew it was coming.
And honestly, had you not gone before me and said it, I probably wouldn't have even mentioned them at all. Because I could have picked Florida State as the team, the college team that I hate more than them. And I probably do hate Florida State more than I do hate the university,
Crab legs.
the Ohio State University. I could also say University of Miami, but Miami was entertaining back in the day.
The Miami University of New Orleans.
How about the 2008 Florida game?
With Riley Sativa.
How about this?
And on that redaction that will not be aired,
Fuck you.
Wagons out. Oh